Hey everybody, Mo here, and in this video I'm bringing you guys some gameplay and a deck guide on Pantheon. It's like mono Pantheon deck that was used to hit rank 1 by Ruben Zoo. So for those of you that don't know, Ruben hit rank 1 with this mono Pantheon list and kind of popularized it from there, and a lot of people have taken the deck and made it, changed a little bit of cards here and there to try to make it a little bit more optimized or better, but Ruben had a 75% win rate across 50 games. So his win rate was absolutely absurd over a pretty decent number of games as well. He was able to take this deck, take it all the way up to rank 1 pretty easily on his first day off. I remember him tweeting like, first day of my winter break, and I already hit rank 1 with the deck because he just hit it that fast. So very impressive stuff. I think this deck is amazing. I love the mono Pantheon decks more than Pantheon Deck. At least until people start realizing that they can just play Hush or Mini-Morph and it completely negates the mono Pantheon all-in play style. But until then, I think mono Pantheon is going to be a lot better than Pantheon Deck. Let's go over the deck here. You basically have 3 cards that you're trying to buff. You have Saga Seeker, that has Faded, Wounded White Flame, which has Faded and Fury, and then of course your Pantheon. So the goal here is to get one of these 3 cards, and then just use the rest of your spells to just kind of Voltron that unit and make them extremely large. You can use Cataclysms once they have Overwhelm, either with the Zenith Blade, or of course Pantheon already just has Overwhelm built in. And use Cataclysm to kind of just as a pseudo rally. You just get to rally and get an extra attack in with your Overwhelm unit. You play actual rally, you play single combat, you play all these buff spells, you play, you know, Chain Vest, so it's a 1-mana way to proc your Faded triggers. And yeah, you basically get one of those 3 units and you spend the rest of your deck trying to keep that unit alive and make it really big. So yeah, it's really simple as far as how to play the deck. The only hard thing is sometimes you have to be proactive with spells, and you have to know when to actually be proactive and kind of be aggressive. And I'd say most of the time you want to be proactive just as minimalistic as you can, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's like, if you think your opponent's going to do something that's going to make you want to sharp sight, sometimes it's better just to sharp sight proactively. That way you get in the extra 3 damage off the sharp sight attack, and you get the Faded trigger and all that type of stuff, instead of sharp sighting after the attack and then missing out on 3 damage, you know? Something like that could be really, really good. So that's it for the intro and kind of like how the deck functions. So now we're just going to get into some games here. But before we do that, I want to remind you guys that 60% of the people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to me. So if you guys could do me a huge, huge favor and click the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below letting me know what type of videos and what decks you want to see in the future videos. I'd really, really appreciate it. It'd help me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm and be a nice little Christmas/birthday present. So I hope you guys are all having happy holidays. Let's get into the games. All right. Caitlyn Ezreal. So should be fine. We got our White Flame here. Pretty happy. We're going to keep Guiding Touch, that way we can heal up our White Flame so it doesn't get affected by things like Ravenous Flock and Scorched Earth and, you know, those types of cards. Luckily, we have a second White Flame here for backup, so that's really nice. We should be able to play a White Flame on turn 3. We can Daybreak the Zenith Blade and just be fine after that. So we pass. Let me see here. Pass again, and we're just setting up for the White Flame. And this is basically the whole goal, right? It's just set up for these champions, make them really big. This matchup I could see being pretty bad because they play so many ways to remove big units, with their like Ravenous Flock being 1 mana, deal 4 damage, and then they have Scorched Earth or Guillotine, which is just straight up like 3 mana, kill something, you know? I could definitely see that being a problem here. So we're just gonna do this. If they attack, we're not gonna block. No attack here, that's fine. We can Zenith Blade this. And Daybreak the Zenith Blade, that way we can get another one for our second White Flame if we need it. Makes our dragon fairly large. I'm assuming we're going to get it Sun Spidered here. And now we're at the point where our dragons actually won't die to Flock because they're just too big. This is pretty funny. So Thermal for 7, no big deal. We can just Pale Cascade. Makes our dragon not die. We're going to say okay to that. Alright, so if we attack like this, If they try to block, we have Guiding Touch. Yep. We can just Guiding Touch here. Get our damage in, make our White Flame fairly big. Okay, we can pass. And here again, we can protect against a Ravenous Flock. We seem to not have like double Ravenous Flock or obviously Ravenous Flock Scorched Earth. But because we drew the Pantheon, I don't even think we care. We might try to save this with a Sharp Sight just because we can. Because we can just play the second White Flame afterwards, right? So we're just going to do this. And we still are protected against a Ravenous Flock, which is really nice. There's Ravenous Flock. So again, I think we are going to try to protect against that with Guiding Touch. And our White Flame is still alive. Okay, Memoria's gonna pass. Let's see if they have another Thermo or something of that nature. If they don't, I mean, I'd say we're looking pretty good here. No Flash Bomb. Alright, I think I'm gonna open with another Zenith Blade here. It just gives our White Flame some HP back. Sounds good. So I'm going to attack here, and I'm actually not going to care if this White Flame dies, because it's going to deal a decent amount of damage for us. Let's see, second Ravenous Flock. I do want to get the damage through, so we are going to go ahead and Sharp Sight it. But I don't care that it actually dies, because it is pushing a good amount of damage. And that's honestly good enough for me. That it's pushing all of this damage. Ezreal, okay. Sounds good. So next time we should be able to play like Pantheon and then Cataclysm the Ezreal. There's your nice Flash Bomb. Oh no. Okay, good. Rid of our Concerta. That's pretty good. So we have Pantheon here. And we should be able to just Pantheon into Cataclysm the Ezreal. Actually, we could just Sharp Sight here and then block Ezreal. I think we can be able to remove just like everything here, right? So we do this, block the Ezreal. Dump Fumes, okay. I mean, that's fine by me. And I think I want to play... I should have played the Goat. No, because he immediately attacked. Okay, so I didn't misplay it there necessarily. Let's see. I do kind of like doing a Cataclysm here. This puts us 6 damage. I do kind of like that. I do like the push 6 damage line. And if we draw a burst speed way to target our unit, we could just kind of win the game here. Burst speed way to target Pantheon. We did. I mean, we got this, right? So that might be good enough. Okay. Let's see what we get here. What are the what keywords we got? We got Tough, Challenger. We got good old Challenger, Fearsome. Yeah, Challenger, Overwhelm, Fearsome. That's pretty good. Fearsome's really nice because its only blocker has 2 power. So if we just don't challenge this, then they can't block it. But we did not get Spell Shield or anything, so they can just stun it like that. And that's pretty sad, but not too much we can do about that. This is kind of where I wish I had my Cataclysm. That's okay. We can just play Goat. Goat into White Flame seems pretty good. We do like Goat into White Flame. Ezreal, okay. That's pretty scary. We do know that they have a Ravenous Flock in their hand because they got one off of the Archivist. So it means that one of the top 5 cards in their deck was another Ravenous Flock. But our Pantheon has tough, so it should be pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and just do this. We're just going to try and make the Pantheon as big as possible and hope that they just have Ravenous Flock and not a Scorched Earth. Okay. Sounds good. So this actually counters the Ravenous Flock and or Scorched Earth because the Mystic Shot will only deal 1 damage thanks to the tough on Pantheon. So... oh no, my rally, no! Boo. Alright, I believe this is the last Zenith Blade. We don't have any more Zenith Blades in our deck. I think I'm just gonna play this White Flame then. Now we can activate the Pale Cascade and also have other blockers. So yeah, I think we just say okay to that. And I mean, we can just pass because this Pantheon is lethal. So he has to Mystic Shot the Pantheon. Unless our opponent's just going to try and kill us by Mystic Shotting face or something like that. Let's see. Static Shock both of those. Okay. So I think I'm just going to do this. That way it gets undamaged. Nice, nice. And then we're just going to Zenith Blade this guy because we already targeted him. Yeah, because we already targeted him. Might as well Zenith Blade him to make him a tad bit larger. And yeah, that's game because they have no way to actually stop this Pantheon from attacking. So that actually should have been pretty bad. Our opponent had triple Ravenous Flock in their hand and it didn't matter. We still beat it. Which is pretty nice. Yeah, so that just shows you like how strong the deck is, and how resilient it can be if you draw those multiple threats, and especially the Pantheon. Once the Pantheon levels, the game's basically just donezo from there. So yeah, that was a pretty good game. Let's get another one in here for you guys. Lysergic Acid. Alright. So, Silver Akshan could be really annoying because of the amount of challengers, and they give like your Pantheon vulnerable. And they give it Challenger. That could be extremely annoying. We're going to keep 1 single just in case so we can, like, barrier single combat. But I think that's all we're going to keep here. Hold on a second. Visor. Gotta put on the glasses. Okay. So here, I think we're going to play Saga Seeker and then just try to buff him up next turn. That's fine. So we can swing, and then swing Chain Vest actually beats any spell that they could have. So we'll do this. This could be scary into like Brightsteel Protector. But yep, they do that. We have Chain Vest here. So they have to have exactly Sharp Sight. And they have exactly Sharp Sight. Okay. Sounds good. It beat the Shaped Stone. But we lost a Sharp Sight. So, Pale Cascades, okay card. Nothing crazy here. Unit, we just say okay. And we can Pale Cascade our 1-2 if we want to. But I don't think they ever attack. Because we play so many spells, that's something that's really good about this deck. It's because you play so many spells, your opponent's actually afraid to challenge you most of the time. Okay, so we can just do something like this, and just call it a day. Yep. Get our 1 damage in. And I would like to Pale Cascade to target my Pantheon, but we don't really need to. We can save it for this turn, where now we have 8 mana. So we can do, like, a Concerted Strike and a 2-mana spell this turn. So we can do, like, Concerted Single if we need to. Yeah, so there's that. We're just gonna say okay. We don't have to do anything. Akshan, sure. Alright, so let me show you guys how the way Concerted Strike works. As Concerted Strike actually triggers both of your units that you're targeting, it triggers Fated on both. Even if it doesn't, if like this first unit kills it, it would still go through. So here, we're just going to go ahead and concert it because it grows our Saga Seeker to be bigger than the tracker, and it lets the Pantheon live also because the Pantheon kills the Merciless Hunter. So here, if they have their own single combat or concerted, or not concerted, but they have their own single combat or like sharp sight to get the tracker to kill our Saga or something like that, we could easily just beat that with our like Pale Cascade or our Chain Vest. So we triggered Faded on both of our units. That's pretty nice. We are going to play the Dragon. Probably. Yeah, we're going to play the Dragon just because we need more units. We need to go wide. We are all the way down to 7 HP, which is pretty scary. We can full Sint here. Click OK. Yep. Sounds good to me. We can just Chain Vest up our Pantheon. And then we'll let this trade. That's fine. I'm trading my 1-drop for your... my 2-1 for your 3-2. I think that's a pretty good trade for us. So... they have Absolver here. I think we can Pale Cascade. Yeah. So we can just Pale Cascade again to save our Pantheon. And click OK. And if they have Concerted here afterwards, then we can just use single combat to completely negate that. So there's the Concerted. So how do we want to beat this is the question. I don't think we can actually keep our Pantheon alive, but we could kill everything else. So we could do this. And that way our Pantheon dies, but we deal 4 damage. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. So we'll do this way. We killed the Akshan, trigger Faded on our White Flame. Yep. And we still clear their board. We push in 8 or 7 damage here. We have the Cataclysm, have the Zenith Blade, so we can give this thing Overwhelm and then Cataclysm next turn, and then try and set up for some nice open attacks. Unless they have, like, Sivir into, like, Vulnerable or something like that, that doesn't matter. Even if they have Vulnerable, it doesn't really matter. So we should be winning. That Pantheon draw was really nice. There's a Vagabond. We're just going to go ahead and do this. Zenith Blade, so it's basically exactly Sharp Sight. Which there is no Sharp Sight now, so that's really nice. So I think we're just going to try to persuade our opponent to not do any craziness. Do we ever have lethal is the question. I don't think so. I don't think we ever have lethal, so we're just going to pass. And the next time we can play Pantheon Cataclysm. Oh, wait, we're dead. Oh, we're not dead, but... okay. Definitely not dead. So, if we Cataclysm this, opponent takes 6 damage. And this is 8. And it'll take another 5. So that's exact lethal if they don't get a pump spell or get a way to gain HP next turn. Which is really nice. I think we are going to do that while our opponent is tapped out. That sounds pretty good to me. So this is going to push 6 damage. And then our opponent has to find a way to give HP to this Akshan. Otherwise, our open attack is just lethal. He found a way to give it HP. That's fine. We're still looking pretty good here. We have Pantheon, and we found a burst speed way to target, so that's really, really nice. Waking Sands, that's fine. I don't know if I want to target my Pantheon or target my White Flame here. Let's go ahead and just target Pantheon in case he gets some type of lifesteal or anything crazy like that. Let's see, what did we get here? Elusive would be nice. Lifesteal would be nice. So we got Elusive Spell Shield. Yeah, we got Elusive Spell Shield. Overwhelm. So we're looking pretty good here. Because they can't, now they can't even concert at the Pantheon or anything like that. And there you go. It's another win, right? Even with them being able to kill our first Pantheon, what I thought, this matchup should be pretty good for them because they have the vulnerable challenger on our Pantheon. We're able to just make our Pantheon and White Flame too big and yeah, we were able to get there eventually again with the leveled up Pantheon. So you level up Pantheon pretty consistently in this matchup, or not in this matchup, but sorry, in this deck. You level Pantheon pretty consistently, which is really, really nice. And then again, like you guys saw in the last game, once you do level up the Pantheon, it's kind of just lights out from there every time. So cool, cool, cool. Let's see if we can get one more game in here for you guys. Okay. Alright, Ahri Lulu. So this matchup is for sure, like, horrible because of Concussive Palm. Because of Concussive Palm and Homecoming, we are definitely not favored. But we do have single combat to counter the Concussive, or to counter the Will. We have single combat to counter the Homecoming. We just kind of have to watch out for our opponent getting some crazy like 4/4 challenger units and stuff like that. I don't know why you're burst passing me on a yeah, go for it, dude. On a Poro. But with that being said, if they don't have crazy shenanigans, like a bunch of palms, and we can level up this Pantheon, who knows? Maybe we can start getting places. Luckily we have the single combat, so we can negate the first Homecoming, assuming they don't just have like Nopify. I don't think these decks play Nopify, but if they do, that would be not very good for us. So here we're hoping for no Lulu. If they had like Poro Cannon out Chompers into Ahri into Lulu, that's pretty much the god curve you can have with this deck. Ahri Lulu is a very strong deck right now. I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but when the set first came out and I actually got early access, I spammed Ahri Lulu and I was telling people that Ahri Lulu was the best Ahri deck in the game. And no one really believed me, and people kind of thought the deck was trolly. And then 3 days ago, Teal Red posted like a more updated version, like optimized list, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this deck's so good. Who would have thought?" You know, and it just makes me laugh. I don't think we care. We can chain vest this Mountain Goat just to get it to kill the Ahri. I kind of like that. We can do this, and then that way if they twin disciplines the Ahri to give it attack, then we can just single combat and kill the Ahri. The reason I don't want to pre-commit the single combat first is because being proactive in LoR absolutely sucks, and it puts you at a big disadvantage, and they would have just twin disciplined the HP. So now we can do this, and we still make a trade, but the big thing is we kill their Ahri. Another play there is to go ahead and, like, you can single combat the Flame Chompers, but I personally like just removing the Ahri because that play also told me that they don't have a Lulu, or probably don't have a Lulu. So I'd rather just go ahead and get rid of the, Ahri, which is the problem at the moment, because Flame Chompers is only a problem if they have Ahri or Lulu or like a suit up. And right now we can beat suit up because our unit is just straight up too big. Our unit is just bigger than a suited up Flame Chompers. So that was a top deck Lulu that came from the left of his hand. That's fine. We get all these gems. We can just gem swing, and we're chilling. They can't block this ever without just losing their unit. And then again, see, now our unit's actually just too big for this like Flame Chompers. Even if he does give it to Lulu for the make it a 4/4, our unit's just too big. So they have to do that into pre-committing like a twin disciplines, and then they just kind of lose the game because we have sharp sight. Okay, I mean that works for me. We'll take that trade every single time. I think we're gonna go ahead and just gem this up, level up our Pantheon some more. Say okay. We already leveled Pantheon this turn? No, we did not. So yeah, so that put our Pantheon to 3. I guess I just missed the animation. And we're gonna say okay, and we just have to keep Concerted Strike open now for the Homecoming. I mean, obviously that just made it easier for us, so we're gonna Bright Steel Protector this guy, trigger our Pantheon some more, and now we have Concerted and Single open for the rest of the game, and they should never be able to Homecoming us. Palm, of course, is one thing. I don't think these decks even play Palm. I could be wrong, but yeah, I haven't checked the most updated list, but we should be fine here. We can just swing with both of our units, just apply a bunch of pressure. Our Wounded White Flame doesn't have Overwhelm yet because we haven't drawn a Zenith Blade, so that's pretty frustrating. But once we do draw a Zenith Blade, it'll be fine. And he is applying a bunch of pressure, so our opponent will have to block with, like, Poro Cannon. Otherwise, they just kind of get destroyed here. This is going to be a Mystic Shot on my 3-2, I assume. If it's just Mystic Shot on 3-2 with no Ghost block, we can just Sharp Sight. Yeah, so I don't know why our opponent didn't Ghost block here, so we can kind of just do this. And that's actually lethal, which is really funny. I don't know why our opponent didn't Ghost block that, but yeah, that's why you always want to Ghost block, chat. That's a very important thing to learn. Even if the unit is supposed to die, you block it, because one of two things happens. Either your removal spell works and the Get Excited works and it kills the 3-2, so the unit you're blocking with lives either anyways, or your opponent buffs the unit out of removal spell range, your removal spell fails, and then now you saved a bunch of HP because you put a blocker there. So it's really just a win-win scenario. Your removal spell either works and your unit lives no matter what, or your removal spell fails and you lose your unit but you're not dead. So like right there, he should have blocked with a Poro, because I was able to negate the Get Excited. He would have lost a Poro, sure, but he wouldn't have died. And if the if the Get Excited worked, then his Poro lives either way, and he can just open attack with a Elusive Poro. So very important for you guys to learn. I always tell people Ghost block. That's why you see top players always block either way, even if the removal spell is supposed to kill something, because of plays that make the removal spell not work, and then, you know, you don't want to just die for it. But yeah, that's this Pantheon deck. Had a nice little 3-0 streak for you guys. Was able to show you guys back-to-back games, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really like these Voltron decks. Unfortunately, we do have cards in the meta, or not in the meta, but we do have cards in this game like Minimorph and Hush and Purify that can just completely negate these styles of decks. Obviously, Purify can't touch Pantheon, but it could touch like the Wounded White Flame. And they do completely negate these decks. Obviously, you could fix that by running like 2 or 3 Bastion if people do start playing the Minimorphs or Hushes, and that could make it a lot more frustrating. But yeah, I think this deck's really cool. There's a reason it hit rank 1. There's a reason it hit rank 1 with a 75% win rate. It's extremely crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys are enjoying Pantheon, and what champion from the new expansion are you enjoying the most? Let me know in the comments down below. I personally am still enjoying Ahri the most. I think Ahri is just one of the cooler champions. Her playstyle of recalling things is really cool. I liked playing her with Lulu Ahri before everyone else did, because I thought the interaction with Flame Chompers and stuff like that was really, really cool. So I'm still enjoying Ahri. Let me know what you guys are enjoying, and I'll see you guys in the next video.